Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to today's class. So we'll start with the prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are reading chapter number 2 of Bhagavad Gita, and we have covered up to shloka number 20, wherein Krishna is describing about the qualities of the soul. I think the same topic will go on for few more shlokas, where Krishna will continue to describe uh, qualities of the soul. So today we will take up shloka number 21 onwards. Veda vinashinam nityam ya enam ajam avyayam katham sa purushaha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. So far Krishna has described that how the soul is immortal, undying, deathless, eternal. In different ways, Krishna has described the soul. And in this shloka, Krishna is saying that one who knows that the soul is avinashi, means it cannot be destroyed, and nityam, it is eternal. It is unborn, ajam, and avyayam. It doesn't deteriorate like any other material objects. So, someone who knows these qualities of the soul, such a person, katam sa purushaha partha, kam ghatayati hantikam. So, how can such person kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? So, everything has its proper utility, and a man who is situated in complete knowledge knows how and where to apply a thing for its proper utility. So in the purport, Prabhupada is talking about everything has some use, has some utility. For example, knife. So knife also has a utility. You can use it for cutting vegetables or cooking. It can also be used for harming somebody. So it depends on the person who is using it. So everything has its utility, and a person who is situated in complete knowledge, he knows how to apply different things according to its proper utility. So a thief or a criminal, he may use the knife for killing a person, but a civilized human being, so he will use the knife for the purpose of cutting something for making or cooking, cutting for the vegetable. So he will use it properly because he is civilized and he is in knowledge. He knows what is right, what is wrong. So one should not encroach upon others' freedom. So in the same way, one who is spiritually educated, such person also knows how violence can be used according to dharma. Violence also has its utility, but how to apply this violence rests on the uh, knowledge of the person. For example, Kshatriyas, they will fight in the battlefield. Kings, sometimes they will give punishment to hang a person or a person to be killed. So violence has its utility when it is used properly by a person who knows the principles of dharma. So here it is mentioned Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the codes of justice. So one cannot say that some person he committed violence, he killed a person, and killing is not good, killing is bad. And while giving justice, again you are also killing another person, saying that because he has killed, so he should be also hanged. So one cannot say that no, we have to be always peaceful. If somebody has done something wrong, such person should be given proper punishment according to Dharma Shastra. In the modern age, the similar thing, people have created their own criminal laws, and they have created different kinds of punishments for different kinds of crimes. So in a civilized society, when somebody harms another person or encroaches upon other person's freedom, then such a criminal can be punished. But such punishment cannot be called as violence. So that is justice. That is called as justice. Unnecessary killing a person, that is crime. But giving punishment to a person who has committed such a crime, that may also appear like violence, but that is justified. Because this person has committed this crime or wrong thing, so he should be punished in this way. And the idea behind giving such punishment is because the soul is eternal, and one may escape no, the man-made law. Man-made law, we have got so many laws, and then police is there, then court is there, lawyers are there, judge is there. So these are all man-made. Sometimes somebody may escape from the man-made law, but nobody can escape from God's law. So that punishment is awaited. So as per the laws of karma, when the seed of that sin gets fructified, then the person has to undergo the punishment of whatever sinful activities one has committed. So the seed may fructify now, or it may fructify in the future, or sometimes it may fructify in the next life or next to next life, based on the kind of sin one has committed. It may have its own timeline of fructification. Because somebody has committed a sin and he will be punished after, say, 150 years. By that time, this body is gone. The body in which he committed the sin, that body is gone. After 150 years, maybe in some other body, human body or animal body, whichever body. And at that time, his that seed of sin is fructified, is ready to give fruit. And that time he will undergo some punishment, some misery, some accident or something will happen to him. And if we see immediate cause, you may not find, oh, he was such a nice person. He was, leading such a good life. He has not done any harm to anybody, but this thing happened to him. So we may come across certain things like this. So we should know that every person is enjoying or suffering. Same thing may happen with somebody who is committing so much of wrong things in this life, so much of sinful activity, cheating. But we see that that person is enjoying nicely. He's having a lot of money, a lot of richness, followers. So all that is because he would have done something good in the past, and now he's reaping the fruits of that. And currently, whatever he's doing, he may have to pay for those things in the future, either in this life or next life. So one can escape man-made laws, but one cannot escape laws of God. So one has to suffer the consequences of any sinful activity one has done. And Dharma Shastras also describe if a person has committed some sin, some violence, or any other irreligious act, if he is punished immediately, then he doesn't have to undergo that suffering in the future. So that way, justice is also given, and the person is also relieved of that sinful reaction. So for that purpose, the punishment is awarded to the person who has committed some crime, some criminal activity, some sinful activity. So the kings are authorized to give that punishment. So when the punishment is given, then the soul is relieved of that sinful reaction immediately. He doesn't have to suffer that again in the future. And it may get minimized also. So for this purpose, law books like Manu Samhita, etc., if somebody has committed a murder, then he can also be killed, so that in the next life he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. So therefore, when a king is hanging a person who has committed some murder, is actually beneficial for that soul. So his that sinful reaction is immediately given to that soul, and next life he can start again fresh without carrying the burden of those sinful reactions. Now, in the same way, when Krishna is ordering here to fight, because all the dharma is given by Krishna, and any action of Krishna, it will be for the supreme justice. So when Krishna is telling that you get up and fight, so fighting means violence. We have to kill opposite party. Both the side people will be killed. So when Krishna is ordering that this fight must happen and violence must happen, that means it is for the supreme justice. It should not be taken that no, Krishna is encouraging killing, Krishna is encouraging violence here. So that should not be the conclusion or understanding. And therefore, Arjuna must follow the instruction of Krishna, because he is the one who has given all the Dharma Shastra. All the rules and regulations are given by him. And when he personally is ordering to do something, then that instruction must be followed. Even if it is violence, even if it is one has to commit the violence, knowing that such violence committed fighting for Krishna is not violence at all. Directly activity done under Krishna's order will not carry any sinful reactions. Rather, they purify, even if we have committed some sinful activities in the past. And even by going by the constitutional position of the soul is not going to die. It is only the material body which is going to die. So the sinful person, he has acquired so much of, by tapasya or some other means, he has acquired a lot of power, and he is now disturbing other living entities. So it's better you, under the guidance of direct guidance of Krishna, if such person is killed, that is better than allowing that person to live and give trouble to more living entities. So, for giving justice, if there is violence according to dharma or according to the direct orders of Krishna, such violence is permitted. Prabhupada is also giving the example here, just like, we sometimes undergo surgery, doctors perform some surgical operation. So the operation, actually they are cutting the body, cutting open, it is painful, but the purpose is not to kill the patient. So they are taking the knife, cutting open, it is externally looks like, harming the person. But here the purpose is to cure the patient, not to kill that person. Similarly, when Krishna is ordering here that Arjuna, you get up and fight and kill your enemies. So it must be understood that it is for the good of those sinful people. By giving this punishment, they will be relieved from all their sinful reaction, and also they will not trouble other living entities. So when such fighting is done or violence is done, that do not carry any sinful reaction. So if Arjuna directly works under the guidance of Krishna and kills his enemies, though they may be their own relatives, friends, brothers, grandfather, his teacher, even though they are not to be attacked or not to be killed, but if such actions are done directly under the direction of Krishna, they do not carry any sinful reaction. So such things should be done only under the superior direction. One should not take these things in his own. Krishna has told that no, soul is eternal. Even if you kill somebody, soul is not going to die. I am not committing any sin by killing a person. So one cannot take such decisions by his own, uh, uh, on his own. On his own, one cannot take such decisions. It must be authorized by Dharma Shastra or the Supreme Lord. And when we are living in a society, especially the modern age, one should also follow the rule of the land. Law of the land one must follow. One should not break the law of the land. One should lead a civilized life, a religious life, and under the direction of Krishna, one must work. In case of Arjuna, the time was different. People were following the Dharma Shastras. It was not like the modern justice system. So that time, if somebody has committed a theft, the king had the power and authority to cut the hands of that person. But such laws do not exist now. So one should not, according to time, place, and circumstances, under the superior guidance, one should act, not whimsically taking the scriptures. That's why the scriptures have to be understood from the bona fide spiritual master. It has to be understood from the Acharya, who gives us the right instructions to be followed for our time, our place, our circumstances. But one should also know the principles of religion, principles of bhakti, devotional service. Uh, these principles also must be understood, because sometimes people criticize Krishna is encouraging violence. There are some section of people who are promoting non-violence. So they don't want violence. All problems, they say, should be solved by peacefully with non-violence. So sometimes such people may criticize. In Bhagavad Gita, there is violence. Krishna is encouraging Arjuna to kill people. But one who has the complete knowledge knows that everything has its utility, even violence has its utility when it is used under proper guidance, especially when directly the Supreme Lord Krishna himself is telling. Next shloka. Here Krishna is describing the soul and the body with an example of person changing clothes. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grahnati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. So here also Krishna uses the word dehi. Previously also we saw dehinosmin yatha dehe, kaumaram yavanam jara. So deha and dehi, two words. Deha is body and dehi is the occupier of the body. So here it is said, the dehi takes on another body, navani. It takes a new body. When it takes a new body? When the current body becomes jirna, or it becomes very old and useless. When the present body becomes very old and useless, then it gives up this body and accepts a new body, navani. And how this happens? Just like we change our clothes. We have got clothes, we go on using our clothes, and some part of time they become very old, color gets faded, sometimes they are torn. And that time what do? We just give up those old cloths and go to a cloth shop, buy some cloth and give it to tailor, and tailor stitches according to our size, and he gives us a new cloth, and we give up the old cloth and we wear the new shirt or new dress. Or sometimes we go to some ready-made shops, readily available, we go and see our size fits. Okay, we take that new dress, and the old one we discard it and we start wearing the new dress. In the same way, how we change our dresses when the old dresses are useless. Soul, when the old body was useless, has given up and accepted a new body. As the person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, similarly, the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Now, here in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning that the body is changing. It is an accepted fact even by modern science. If you search also, as per the modern scientific discoveries, so they have discovered that the cells in the body, whole body is made of different cells, each organ is made of different cells. And these cells in the body are, every day the cells are dying and new cells are being replaced. The old cells are being replaced by the new cells. So new cells will get formed and old will get destroyed. We may not perceive those things, but actually they have discovered that the different bodily organs, they are made of cells. And these cells, they have got some short span and they will remain for some time and then they will get destroyed. But at the same time, new cells are formed. So even by modern science, we can see that my body is not exactly same as it was yesterday. It is said that in 7 years, you are completely, the cells of the body, they are completely changed. 7 years ago, which cells were there in your body? Now, if you see, none of those cells are existing. All old cells gradually, they got replaced by the new cells. So technically, if one compares this body and the body which was 7 years before, he will say this body is different, this body is different. Externally, we may look the same person. Even if you look at little gross level, now yesterday how my body was, today if you see, my little hair would have grown. I would have done shaving. And today we see my hair is grown. Or my little weight has changed. I ate something, my weight increased. Then again, the weight got decreased. So that way, technically also, if someone analyzes, the body is not exactly same how it was yesterday. And as per the science, 7 years, it is completely a different body. But we identify ourselves that I am the same person who was there 7 years ago. We say our body has grown, but body is not always growing. If it has to grow, means it has to keep on growing. Therefore, the Vedic literature don't say that the body is growing. It says that body is changing. Changing is the appropriate word. Growing is not the appropriate word, because grow means the body has to keep on growing. They say it has grown old. So it is contradictory words. So growing means, growth means it has to become better than how it was before. So body is growing is not the right word, because they're in ignorance, so they call like that. And Vedic literature, because they are given by the manufacturer himself. So there it is said that the body is undergoing change. It's called vikara. Shad vikara, it is said. So it comes into existence, it starts growing. That is the second change. And then it stays for some time. Then it produces byproducts. Then it starts deteriorating. Then it gets destroyed. So according to modern science and according to Vedic literature, body is constantly changing. And by modern science also, they have found out that heart, no, the energy for running this body is coming from the heart. Heart is always pumping blood and purifying the blood. In the whole body, blood is circulating. It is just like we have pumps in our house. We have water supply. We have a sump, and then there is a pipe connection. Then there is a tank overhead. Then there are water taps are there. So every day we pump, or sometimes we have an automated system on its own. We don't know. Whenever it is empty, the motor gets on, then water is lifted to the overhead tank and we use it. We don't even know that when the motor is turning on and turning off. Here, at least the motor is sometimes on, sometimes off. But in our heart, constantly the heart is pumping blood so that it is circulating within the body, and then blood carries oxygen. It is such a complex system which is going on within our body, and we have no idea how it is working. We just know through senses we experience this world by our working senses, by our knowledge acquiring senses. Actually, that is the constitution of the soul. The soul is having working senses and knowledge acquiring senses. And according to our activity in the past life, we get a body which is having different types of working senses, different types of knowledge acquiring senses. Human body, animal body, bird's body. And sometimes one is very, very sinful. So sinful means they are encouraging upon freedom of other people. That is sin. They are exploiting others, doing harms to others. So sometimes they are given a punishment that none of your sensory activities will work. So they are given bodies like trees. So trees, although inside the tree's body, the soul is there, it is having working senses, it is having the knowledge acquiring senses. But as a punishment, it is given that you should stand in one place, can't move, can't see, can't eat, can't smell. So it is like a punishment to the soul when it gets a tree's body. Other forms, at least, they are active. They can move, they can eat, they can see. Different bodies, different restrictions on this freedom of the senses. When the senses are misused, so the soul is put into different types of these kind of punishment bodies. So coming back to the discussion of human body, where uh, or any other animal body or birds also, uh, there is a heart, and heart is always active. Not even a second it takes rest. So that is giving all the energy required for this body to function. And continuously, the body is changing from boyhood to childhood, to youthhood, and to old age. And from old age, the change takes place to another body. So all these things we have discussed in the previous verses. Now, transference of the atomic individual soul to another body is made possible by the grace of the super soul. Now, how this soul changes one body to another body, because we don't decide, what kind of body I'm going to get in my next life, or we didn't made a decision that I'm going to take birth as a human being in such a such place, in such and such family. This will be my father, he will be my mother, there will be my siblings, my brother, sister. I will have this color, this much height, this much knowledge, this much richness. None of things we decided. When we took birth, already we were in some family where all these things were already predefined. So, how this change of body takes place, it describes karmana daivanetrena janturdeha upapatyay. So, karmana, according to his karma, then daivanetrena, by superior arrangement, uh, the janturdeha upapatyay, the living entities, they take different bodies. So, that is done by the super soul. And why this change of body is happening? Because the living entity has got varieties of desires, unlimited desires. To facilitate the fulfillment of those desires, the living entity is given different kinds of bodies. Just like in the human body, sometimes people develop tendency to eat discriminately. They don't make any distinction what is to be eaten, what is not to be eaten. Anything and everything they eat. Any animal, any bird, and anything and everything they eat. They don't make any distinction. Human beings is supposed to make that distinction, what is supposed to be done, what is not supposed to be done, what is my food, what is not my food. When people lose that discrimination and they develop a taste for eating anything and everything, even insects, there are people who eat all kinds of things. So they are not supposed to do that in the human body, but they have got that desire. then they are given a suitable body so that their desire can be fulfilled without committing a sin. Because here, if they do, it's a sinful. So sometimes they may get a pig's body. Pig has no discrimination of eating. Anything and everything it will eat. So in the same way, different types of bodies, if we see, they have got different facilities. Just like if we take ants, they're always after sugar because they get intoxicated by always eating that sugar. So somebody is too much, he wants to get intoxicated. Then better let him get a ant's body where he can nicely fulfill that desire of getting intoxicated. Similarly, different kinds of tendencies, sinful tendencies, the living entity develops by association, bad association. Then to fulfill all those sinful desires, varieties of bodies are given. It also has to undergo different sufferings in those bodies, and its other desires are also fulfilled. So the super soul smells the desires of the living entity. It senses all the desires of the living entity, and accordingly, it gives the body. So as a friend fulfills the desire of another friend, the super soul fulfills the all these desires of other living entities. So in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad and Mundaka Upanishad, the soul and the super soul, they have been compared like two birds sitting on the same tree. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagno. In the same vriksha, in the same tree, in the same body, there are two birds. So this body is compared like a tree. An example is given. How in the tree we see birds. So in this tree of body, in this body, there is a soul and the super soul, or Atma and Paramatma. And the difference is that one bird is always busy eating the fruits of the tree, and the other bird is just witnessing his friend. So the individual atomic soul is eating the fruits of the tree, and the other bird, Krishna, is simply watching his friend. Although they are qualitatively one, because the individual soul is also Satchidananda, and the Supreme Soul, Krishna, is also Satchidananda, because we are his Amsha, his part, so we carry the same qualities. But in quantity, we are very minute and Krishna is unlimited. So although it is spiritual in nature, but it is captivated by these material fruits. And the other bird is just witnessing its activity. In Bhagavad Gita, two, three places we see Krishna tells that Upadrishta Anumanta. So he's just sitting along with the soul in this body as Upadrishta and Anumanta. So Upadrishta means he is witnessing, and Anumanta means he is sanctioning. And 13th chapter we will see Krishna says that Kshetrajnam cha api mam vidhi. I am also the knower within this body. I am also the Kshetrajna. So there are two souls in this body. One is the minute soul and another is the super soul. That is Krishna in the form of Paramatma. In case of Krishna and Arjuna, Arjuna is the tiny living entity and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And both of them are friends, but still one is the master and other is the servant. So that is the relationship that should be understood. We are not equal with Krishna. Our position and Krishna's position, although they may appear same age, they are like friends, but still Krishna's position and our position is there is a vast difference. And when one forgets this relationship, that Krishna is master and I am his eternal servant, then it becomes the cause of bondage and the cause of constant change of the body for the soul. The forgetfulness of our relationship with Krishna is the cause of our material existence. Material existence means constant change of the body, no fixed body. Always the body keeps changing. Although we want fixed body, nice body, happy body, good enjoyment, but against our all these desires, the body keeps on changing. That is because we have forgotten our relationship with Krishna as master. And Our life is full of struggle. The living entity is struggling very hard in this material body. It has to take care of itself, maintain itself. Then it has got family, society. It has to take care of them. Then in between, there will be a lot of problems. Diseases will come. Then external problems will come, financial problems. Then rain is not there, or a lot of heat is there. So we are not in a very comfortable situation. But illusion is such that it makes us believe that by making some adjustment, I can be happy. Just have to make little adjustment, then everything will be all right. But that will never be all right, because this place is designed in such a way that we have to experience miseries and so-called happiness under illusion. But as soon as we turn towards Krishna, who is there in our heart, and now because of our contaminated state, we may not perceive him, we may not be able to see him, but mercifully he has externally come and he has given this Bhagavad Gita. He has sent his spiritual master who can give us guidance. And when we turn towards Krishna and revive our relationship, which we have forgotten as master, and surrender to him voluntarily and start following his instruction, then this subordinate living entity immediately becomes free from all lamentation. So immediate change can happen when someone completely surrenders to Krishna. So as it is told in the Katha Upanishad and Shvetashvatara Upanishads, Samane Vrikshe Purusho Nimagno Anishaya Anishaya Shochati Muhyamanaha Yushtam Yada Pashyati Anyamishamasya Mahimanam Iti Vitashokaha. So although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruits of the tree. See, the desire of the living entity is to be the enjoyer, be happy. But reality is it's always in anxiety and tension, moroseness. But if somehow or other, if he turns towards Krishna, who is his friend and who is the master, and knows his glories, knows Krishna's glories, how great he is, how merciful he is, how friendly, how kind, how grateful. When one knows Krishna's qualities and how he is maintaining, even I have turned away from him, still he is maintaining whatever I want, he is only supplying. So when one knows and surrenders to Krishna, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxieties. One becomes free from anxiety. Even if the miseries exist, there will be no anxiety. Because this is sanctioned by Krishna. Both happiness and distress is sanctioned by Krishna. So he becomes free from the anxiety and lives happily. And Arjuna's position now is that he has turned his face towards his eternal friend Krishna for guidance. Because he was bewildered. That is the state of every person in this material world. In the second chapter, in the shloka, when Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, Prabhupada describes, or in the first or second shloka, I think, in the purport, every person in the material world is in perplexity. He is perplexed. When Arjuna says that, no, I don't know what to do now. I'm fully confused. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions that every person in this material world is perplexed. And it befits a perplexed man to surrender to Krishna. So Arjuna was put under such situation where he was perplexed so that the Bhagavad Gita can be spoken. So he has surrendered to Krishna and inquiring from him and understanding this Bhagavad Gita from him. So hearing from Krishna, Arjuna can understand the glories of Krishna and be free from lamentation. And we can also, like Arjuna, how he became free from his confused state, miserable state. We can also become free from that if we follow in his footsteps, Arjuna's footsteps. What did Arjuna do? How he understood Bhagavad Gita. After understanding Bhagavad Gita, what did he do? So if we study these things and apply in our life, so we can also become free from all anxieties and all miseries and all lamentation. So here Arjuna is advised by the Lord not to lament for the bodily change of his old grandfather and his teacher. So by giving all this knowledge to Arjuna, Krishna is trying to remove this lamentation from Arjuna's heart. He was lamenting that I have to kill my teacher, I have to kill my grandfather. So Krishna is giving him the knowledge of Atma, of the soul. And by that knowledge, uh, Arjuna can come out of this lamentation, anxiety. And here it is said that he can be happy by killing, they will get a better body. So they will be cleansed of all their reactions, whatever they have done, some sinful activities they have committed. So they can be cleansed of all those reactions because the killing is happening directly under the order of Krishna. And they will get a better body. Now their bodies, anyway, they have become old and they have committed some things which are wrong. So by killing those bodies, they will be free from all those reactions and they can get a better body immediately. And it is said in the scriptures that one who lays down his life on the sacrificial altar or in the proper battlefield is at once cleansed of bodily reactions and promoted to a higher status of life. Sometimes animals are sacrificed in the Vedic sacrifices, which are prohibited in Kali Yuga because there are no qualified Brahmanas to perform such sacrifices. Formerly, they would perfectly chant the mantras, and during such sacrifices, the mantras were tested by sacrificing an animal, and if they are chanted properly, the animal would immediately get a fresh body. Suppose they have taken one old animal and sacrificed, that will get a young body immediately if they chanted proper mantras. That was a way of testing the mantras. And sometimes they would immediately get a human form of life. So, same thing applies even to Dharma Yuddha. When somebody dies on the battlefield, then he is also at once cleansed of all reactions and they get a higher status of life. They go to Swargaloka, those who die on the battlefield. That Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Jito va prapsasi, hato va prapsasi swargam, jito va bhokshase mahim. If you are killed, you will go to heavenly planets, prapsasi swargam. And if you win, you will enjoy this earth. So in either case, either you get killed or you become victorious. In the both the cases, there is no cause of lamentation. Both are profitable to you. That was one of the reasons given by Krishna to Arjuna. Of course, better than those reasoning is the spiritual knowledge and working directly under the order of Krishna. So, considering all these things, actually there was no cause for lamentation for Arjuna. So, if somebody takes the instruction of Krishna, then they can become free from all anxieties, all lamentation. One can become very happy, blissful, and happily live this life. Ultimately, everybody wants to be happy, peaceful. So that peace and prosperity and happiness is possible when we follow the instructions of Krishna. Then we lead a religious life and with a purpose in life, with a goal and going closer towards achieving that goal by following the instructions of Krishna from Bhagavad Gita. So we'll stop here today. If there are any questions, we can take up the questions. Any questions on today's topic or any other topic? Hope whoever is attending these sessions, everybody is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Anyone is here who doesn't know about chanting? Some of you, I know you personally, whom I don't know here. Parth, I think I'm not sure whether I know Parth, Rangarajan, Brinda, Anuga also. I think I'm not familiar. So those who don't know about chanting, please chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. So that will save us from all the sinful reactions if we have committed in the past, and also it will save us from all the bad reactions of Kali Yuga. And that is Mahamantra, and that is a recommendation for Kali Yuga in the scriptures, that if one gets liberated, goes back to the spiritual world just by chanting this one mantra regularly every day as a regular practice, at least 108 times one must chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, those who are new. So if there are no questions in today's topic, so we'll end our session here. Thank you all for joining. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.